bring all swirling and saffrons, I dare say.
Feeling hot under the collar.
What is going on here? First I have to shoo away a creeping white tomcat, and now there's a perfect stranger in my bathroom. Get out, will you? Little mix-up indeed. I don't know what you and that horrible little imp are planning, but leave my bathroom out of it.
That's what you get for trying.
Out! No, if you please! Fine! This room is private. Don't just stand there. Go! Away with you!
Source hunters, eh? Well, right proper, we're finally getting a hand. Things is chaos. If you've got a favourite sheep, best to fry her up now before she gets thieved in the night like me dear plump Ogget, the finest in me herd. Yes. Oh, Ogget's been missing for more than a fortnight. I love that sheep, you know. Was planning to cook her into a fine midwinter night haggis myself. Do tell me if you hear anything about her. I plan on pursuing whoever stole her with my cleaver in hand. Sorry, can't help you there. Haven't got enough livestock left to warrant a hand with the work.
Septimus. Would your wife or...
Lords above, grant me patience. You're a source hunter, aren't you? Here because you think I killed my husband. How many times do I need to state and restate my complete innocence in the matter? Like I told just about every legionnaire in town, I don't know anything about poor Jake's murder. I want his killer found and tried, but everyone suspects me of this evil deed. And you're no different, are you? So what happened? Some of them tittle-tattling crab chasers down the pub call me a murderous gold digger and you believe them? These insinuations truly go beyond the pale. Oh. I am Esmeralda, wife of Jake, and now, alas, his widow. Poor man. We were both so young when we married. He so rich and I so poor, but his one and only princess just the same.
Starstone? I've never heard of such a thing. Dear Jake had a mineral collection, yes. As far as I knew, it was one of his pastimes, nothing more. Do you mean to imply he collected something dangerous? Something that may have gotten him into trouble? Oh, this is all too much. I feel like I'm drifting from nightmare into nightmare.
Seems to be quite adamant about her innocence.
We'll need to look for evidence if we want to prove she actually did the evil deed.
It's heating up.
Rest in peace, darling.
Here lies Jake. Please do not disturb.
May the seven keep you. What trickery is this? That's not Jake.
It's a rotting sheep's corpse. It seems someone snatched Jake's body.
Source hunters, eh? All right, proper, we're fine again. If you've got a favourite sheep, best to fry her up now before she gets thieved. Oh, Ogget, you're rotten to the bone. Oh, me poor, sweet, plump girl. You've been wasted entirely. All that roast, Oh, the mutton! Not even the sausage grinder will want her now. Give her here, will you? Me little mouldering darling.
Join the Spud Club if you've got an eye for farm potatoes. Red and orange, yellow and green, the finest veggies size seals ever seen.
Pay the big cheese on your block with a wheel of the good stuff.
So, what's the bad news? More orcs rampaging through the docks? Or have those infernal statues sent another soul flying to his death? Sad story, that. Though if I'm speaking plainly, the sentimental aspect of it all doesn't make much of an impression on an undertaker. Especially not these days, with so many laid low by the orcs and such like. I just concern myself with giving the remains a respectable exit from life. We set him to rest in the northern graveyard. Perhaps he can finally get a little peace. A sheep? That's a whole heap of nonsense. Don't bother me with such wild tales. I suppose you're right. At least if I tell you myself, you'll hear the proper account of things. I buried that blasted sheep, but I swear on my lucky left foot I had nothing to do with that body disappearing. 1 minute it was on my slab, you see. I left the room for just a moment to answer the bell in the front parlour, and when I returned, the body was simply gone. In its place was a sack containing more gold coins than I could even count. The message was clear. Silence is golden. My business has been declining right alongside the rest of our blighted city. And that sack of gold was worth more than I made during one of the good years. And someone needed my silence. I knew I had to bury something or risk being found out. So that night, I stole into the market and made off with Bertia's fattest sheep. It was a bloody waste to stick so much fine meat into the ground to rot, but it had to be done. The next day, the pallbearers retrieved Jake's coffin, sealed to hide the body's terrible wounds, none the wiser that within the casket lay nothing more venerable than a slaughtered beast. Now, you can imagine I've spent more than my share of restless nights wondering who could have wanted that cadaver and for what purpose. I'm not an inch closer to imagining the why, but I've got a few inklings as to the who. Near as I can reckon, there are only 4 people who could have been involved. Mayor Cecil, Captain Aureus, Theleron's apprentice Evelyn, and Esmeralda. Plenty of us shopkeepers entrust the mayor with the spare keys to our businesses, you know. And he's the only person in town with a second copy of the key to the mortuary. He could have used it to sidle in without a peep, if he were so inclined. Aureus himself paid me a visit the night the body was delivered. Came rapping at my door in the frosty morning before the sun had even started peeping, and told me to tell him, and only him, if I noticed anything strange or suspicious about the remains. Can't see why he'd bothered to go through all that trouble, unless he knew something the rest of us don't. I know it sounds strange suspecting the doctor's apprentice of something so ghoulish as this, but there's few in this city could manage to transport a corpse without raising eyebrows. It was she who delivered Jake's body from the inn to the mortuary. And there was something about her that night. Some kind of excitement. Seemed she could barely contain her thoughts. That there was something thrilling about to happen. I can't quite settle it in my mind how a young medical professional would have such a strange reaction to an occasion such as that. And this may or may not have anything to do with the whole rigmarole. But her master, Dr. Theleron, bought an old shack of mine, one overtaken by undead, for an exorbitant price considering what he was getting. I never did figure what he wanted it for, but he sure seemed eager. I never saw a widow less distraught at the death of her husband, and I've seen hundreds pass through my parlour. It was she who rang my bell just before the body was snatched, lured me outside claiming she needed air, before discussing the funeral arrangements. Some accomplice could have sneaked in and grabbed the remains while I was comforting the oh-so-overcome Esmeralda. That gold's the only good thing to come out of this blasted affair, and I certainly plan on making some use of it. You know, I reckon Bertia really didn't get a fair shake in all this, did she? Here, take the money and give it to her. Times are hard enough as they are.
Let's see. Halibut, sheep's cheese, tomatoes.
Lonesome.
Sauce hunters, eh? All right, proper, we're finally getting a hand. If you've got a favourite sheep, best to fry her up. That louse! Did he even bother grilling a single luscious chop? I bet he wasted every last morsel. Captain Aureus will have a thing or two to say about this.
potent heat!
It's heating up.
They call this liqueur dragonfly! A fine!
Ricochet!
Maybe now you can learn something useful.
I'm
Like how
burning!
to wash your under things.
I'm drenched!
Everything we do seems to fortify your abilities. There's no experience to be won from pestering me with vapid flattery.
you see a shady-looking figure fishing coins of gold out of the muddy water that pools beneath the well overhead. His movements are quick and nervous, but nevertheless, he seems to enjoy stuffing what cash he can find into the many pockets of his shabby garb. So absorbed is he in his coin holding that at first he doesn't notice your presence. Suddenly, though, he pauses, looks up, and quick as a cat its talons, readies 2 daggers. The instant you mention your title, the man's eyes go wide. He ostentatiously sheathes his weapons and pulls a quill and a scrap of parchment out of one of his pockets. Dexterously, he writes down a couple of phrases, then holds it out for you to read.
Mute. Can't speak. Tell truth now. You really a source hunter?
Excitedly, the man turns over the scrap and pens a few more lines.
Name's Woolgraf. I admire you. No hero like source hunter. Sizeel dead end. Please let me join you.
Woolgraf nods enthusiastically and pulls a couple of ripped parchment pieces out from his vestments. Hastily, he covers them with words and pushes them in your hands, one after the other.
Been mute since I was a kid. Sorcerers took my voice. People think I'm stupid. I'm not. Get money, food where I can. Steal if I must. Not from poor folks. I'm a good sneak, good fighter, good with locks. See things you don't. Want to help you. I'm useful. Want to catch sorcerers. Make 'em pay. Please.
Woolgraf notices there's no room left in your party and shrugs his shoulders. Nothing he can do about that.
Careful now, that's a trap. Careful now, that's a trap. enemies have laid a trap. Look out! I see a trap nearby.
Which I doubt you could even fathom, old friend.
Sightseeing isn't so bad on a quiet day like this, is it?
You there! A moment of your indulgence, if you please. You are the source hunter, are you not? The hero the whole of Sightseal is abuzz about. The talk of the town. The juiciest grape on the grapevine. Such a pleasure to meet you. A delight. No, scratch that. It is so much more than a delight. It is an intervention of fate. Yes, that's it. Fate has put me on this very spot so I may tell you all about a most intriguing opportunity indeed. Mendius, at your service. What is my profession? Well, I'll tell you what it used to be, and that is a man of medicine. But what does a man of medicine do but mend what has first been broken? I saved lives, to be sure, but today I change them. Oh, it's not merely an opportunity. It is a once-in-a-lifetime chance to become better. To become the full extent of the promise that is locked inside of each and every one of us. So first of all, let me ask you this question. Do you like adventure?
Agreed. Adventuring implies frivolity. Duty does not.
You may tell yourself you dislike adventure, but the mud on your boots and the blood on your blades say otherwise. One wouldn't become a source hunter if one didn't relish the exhilaration of battle, the lust for hidden knowledge and secrets. Too bad your line of work comes with such measly recompense. Am I right? The wage of a mere soldier. Now, between you and me, tell me truthfully, don't you sometimes wish you could earn more?
Nor me. Wealth is but vanity.
Oh, but I know you're just being bashful. I bet that in your heart of hearts, your eyes water with joy when you discover yet another treasure during your travels. Even so, my friend, matters of a pecuniary nature aside, what is life without variety, without spice? To be a source hunter must get frightfully dreary sometimes. Am I right? All those orders. Investigate this, retrieve that, and at the end of the day, what do you have to show for it? Wouldn't you prefer to call your own shots? Be your own boss?
Pay the big cheese on
True enough. We serve a just cause, so why wouldn't we follow our orders?
Come now. I refuse to believe such a uniquely skilled individual would settle for a puppet's role. Life's too short to spend it doing someone else's bidding. Am I right? Of course I am. And I could help you attain the dream. Enact the change you deserve. And that is exactly why I am here. Why fate has put me right by the door to the King Crab, so that I could meet you and tell you about the marvel that is the Fabulous Five. The invitation to join is yours. Grab it. Ah, the Fabulous Five. How I enjoy simply saying the words that describe the most illustrious and celebrated adventurers' guild in Riverlon. Our mission to better the world. Our mantra, to better ourselves as we do so. To realize our dreams and cleanse our souls. You'd like nothing more than to enlist, wouldn't you? Of course you would. And you can. Of course, if you still have questions, I shall answer them to the best of my abilities. But if not, how about we get started? What a gem of a question. Straight as an arrow, sharp as a switchblade. Most meritorious of you. Now then, to join the Fabulous Five is to join a fellowship, to join a fraternity, a sorority, a community. The title of Knight is bestowed upon you the moment you sign our waiver, and so it all begins. I shall be the one to give you your first contracts, and once the job is done, I shall see to it you get your fair share of the reward. Of course, should you spread the word, should you propagate the gospel of the Fabulous Five and thereby draw new knights into our fellowship, you will get a share of the reward from their contracts too. Isn't that wonderful? By now, the genial glow of the fellowship must have warmed your heart. It has, hasn't it? But did I say fellowship? I mean family. For like a family, we support one another, cheer one another, see each other through thick and thin, partake in glory and defeat, work hard, fulfill contracts, enlist new knights, and swiftly shall you rise through the ranks. You will better yourself. You will better Riverlon. You will make the stars shine all the brighter, and you'll get fabulously wealthy in the process. What's not to like?
I need a moment to reflect.
For cheese? That excuse is more holes than a slice of this fine Coleman bear.
Get it while it's fresh. This batch is only hours from the sea. Red and orange, yellow and green, the finest veggies, size seals ever seen.
Your generosity honours our esteemed order.
You baron.
I am a duke, potato peasant. Greetings, traveller, and may the Immaculate Conduit's myriad blessings comfort and cradle you. Tell me, have you yet heard the revelation? You mean you haven't heard? Oh, what fortune that I may share the goddess's salvation with one who has, as yet, been lost. Steel yourself, friend, for your mortal spirit could be forever transformed from this moment forth. The conduit, our link to the goddess herself, has given us a special gift, and the gift is thus. By following her instructions and becoming initiated into the one way, we can each of us live on for a span greater than the number of stars that twinkle within the goddess's right eye. Ah, for this hallowed information, you must seek an immaculate chapel. Go north, friend, through the forest and into the town of Silverglen, where all may be revealed. There, among her followers and friends, dwells the goddess's ecstasy, her one way. She came from on high to we mortals and showed us the path to the goddess, where all living souls are naturally inclined. She showed us that injury and malady need not mark the end of life, but that through her methods we could ascend to greater life in service of the goddess. Go on the path to the righteous, my friend. Forget not that the conduit has great plans for you.
Oh, my good man. Drink, if you please.
Ah, pointless chatter with strangers does so thrill me. How did you know? Please continue interrupting my drink if you'd be so kind.
Come now, Alistair. Surely you've met your match once or twice.
Ha! The closest I've come to my match is when I linger over long while lighting my pipe.
Oh, careful now. Your head's grown all swollen and saffrons, I dare say.
Greetings, Source Hunter. I don't mean to hinder your investigation, but I can't open this door for anyone who hasn't received Captain Aureus' explicit approval. Not exactly the friendliest bloke, the Captain, is he? Well, your reward for getting your ear chewed off is a waltz through the town's finest magical murder scene. Enjoy.
Looking good. Source was in play here, all right, but that doesn't solve the mystery. It's official. The Duke of Ferrol is the worst poet in Rivellon.
In his defense, not much rhymes with murder.
Concerns myself such.
Greetings, greetings. Oh, you are most welcome in my chamber. Customers rarely find me up here, but I do so abhor the hustle and bustle of the marketplace.
The hunters go a-stalking in the night. By the needles of the million bleeder, they'll end it all! End it all! Soon the last will be beaten. Beaten like the anvil of Grog, the torturer. All hail, Grog! All hail his hot-steeled instruments. Hunters go a-stalking in the night. By the needles of the million bleeder, they'll end it all! End it all in blood! Soon the last will be beaten. Beaten like the anvil of Grog, the torturer. All hail, Grog! All hail his hot-steeled instruments. The hunters go a-stalking in the night. By the needles of the million bleeder. Ah! You have come. Yes. That is most satisfactory. Begone, brittle mask of age. Hear me now repeat the words of Brittletooth, the child snatcher of Carador. Come, play with me, for I'm hungry. Come, play, play, play! The game, yes!
Yes! A game of blood and brutality, of death and dexterity. Fun as herring the horror harlequin. But, like the serpentine stalker hisses before the stab, hush now. Darkness, darling. Hush, hush, and listen to my tale. The elves of Gandavon, they lived in peace. Oh, yes. But one night, when the moon had hid her face, the orcs of the tribe of Kazuldagar beset our city. They cooked and ate and burned every last one of us. The light of dawn never saw an elf of Gandavum no more. All undone. Every last one of us. Except for me, the midnight rambler, away from the city. I was very old back then already, though indeed I whisper of many years hence. But death shall not find me. Oh no, not until every beast of Kazuldagar has been bled. I may be frail, a withered grey, but the wealth of kings is mine. Countless assassins have ministered to the vengeance that is my want, and now is almost over. By Kala, Lady of the Last Gaze, I swear it is almost done. Only the very last one of the Kazuldagar still eludes me. The crowning kill that would seal its fate and mine alike. I have tracked her down. By the curse of the spine spear I have. She does not know her ill-shapen son is setting fast. Color the dusk red, O sword of youth. Bloody the day with the bramble sap that runs through the veins of Victoria. Bring me the amulet that clings to her flesh, soon to fade. And yours shall be the bounty of vindication. Mine shall be its sanguine satisfaction after long, long last. Yes, Victoria. She is the one whose heart must be held in hand. The heart around which the fingers of that hand must clench and tighten until its choking flesh bulges with blood and its beat slowly breaks. The orcs of Kazuldagar, they knew my name. Oh yes, by the bite of the roving rattler, they knew my design. And so they sought to save their last, an infant, she who was to be queen. To no avail, oh no. Years, how many I know not. Years I searched, and now she has been found. Her name is that of a woman, her employment that of a civilized being. But by the fork of Barbara Man-Eater, she is nothing but an orc, a cyst of nature, one of a misbegotten litter dragged into life from the tumoured womb of a filthy, coarse-haired beast that was humped like a dog in the darkness of a stinking hollow. Victoria, librarian, daughter, adopted child of Cecil, Mayor of Sicile. There is bloodlust in you. I can feel it. Let it out. Set it free. Undo the last of the Kazuldagar. By the breasts of Sishara Goatsucker, give me my revenge!
That was quite the radical change we witnessed. I never would have thought that the benign old man we met outside would turn out to be a vengeance-driven aficionado of assassins.
Soul Shredder, the end is nigh. Death comes a-creeping for you, Victoria!
As do I. His life's quest is bloody, but justified.
So bad on a quiet day like this, is it? Not in the mood for cheese. An excuse is more home than the slice of this pie.
This isn't the grimoire I'm looking for.
Kajdinar.
Is there no new book
The
to be
history of
discovered in this
still
library?
hasn't been returned. Theleron will have to pay yet. Turjageta, friend. Kira Lizor. Oh, do pardon my language, my friend. But that is quite the startling revelation. So much sadness, so much anguish. Eglandir's tale is heartrending, though it seems that in the pursuit of retribution, he has himself become as great a ghoul as those that wronged him. Does he not see that I am now the one who is to be wronged? Why, oh why must he make me, of all gentle-minded and life-loving creatures, why must he make me the target of his imperishable hate? Whom have I ever harmed? I live for books, not brutality. So, let us approach the situation with reason and ask ourselves, where do we go from here? Though, first let me say this. Hashizm bil kushim zunum. From my heart, I thank you for warning me. I thank you and I trust you. So pray, let me pose the question. What do you advise we should do?
Demonology for dumbbells.
Leg Fizoda! Yes, a capital notion. Let him be brought before the law for his schemes. I am an innocent, and Eglandir would see me dead. That is a grave offense, is it not? It would probably be better if you rather than I informed Captain Aureus, though. He bears little goodwill toward me ever since my more savage brethren have been marauding the beaches and killing his legionnaires.
The Encyclopedia Daemonium. I know it by heart. Demonology for dumbbells. Ugh. I need something more advanced. Is there no new book to be discovered in this?
You don't think it's infected, do you?
Come on now, I pulled her off you before she could do any real damage.
The source hunter says that creep Robert stole my sheep.
And?
Well, aren't you going to arrest that stinking thief?
I'll have a talk with him, madam. Ah, the source hunter. Oh, joyous hour. Whom would you have the Legion arrest? The elf. What in the name of Ahu's arse should I arrest him for?
It's true. He's a dangerous lunatic and needs to be incarcerated.
So, he wants you to kill that savage the mayor calls his daughter, does he? Hardly seems a crime to do so. But I guess I cannot allow assassinations to take place. I won't arrest him unless I have some actual evidence, though. Or did you think I'd simply take your word for fact? As I suspected.
Look on the bright side. Everyone knows the ugly soldiers are the most ferocious.
Ugly'll be the least of it. The beast looks rabid.
In that case, you'll have the pleasure of putting her down yourself.
You there? You look like an actor just waiting for his big debut.
Fortune!
Fastened tighter than the treasury.
Watch the undead quiver in their mouldy boots.
Fancy that. A source hunter barging in when the lady of the house is fully dressed. Who could have fathomed such a thing?
have some pity.
Performers, showmen, show all of them. Sign seal what you're made of.
It is said, and this I have heard from a ghost who knew Elva, who knew Elliot, who is said to have known Sigurd himself, that the king
But if one were to reduce the quantity of skull dust by a percentage of 2, perhaps the stability could be increased by as much as 3-fold.
Oh, a source hunter. Imagine that. Quite a bit more petite than the last of your kind I encountered, aren't you? Yes, by nearly 20 centimeters of tibia, as my memory serves. But no matter. Even if it couldn't spare its heartiest specimen, I'm sure the Order sent the individual with the next highest probability of success. Yeah? Well, she certainly possesses a critical eye and an exacting manner when it comes to making difficult medical decisions. I expect she'll be a very successful healer in her own right when the time comes. She is learning from the best, after all. The world belongs to the young, they say, and Boris will live to take his piece. Thank you for your help in this matter. Sorry, but there isn't much work for sailors in a house of medicine. Unless one of them happens to have a secret stash of healing stones.
Thank you eternally for your help. Though your reaction to the healing stone, I have no idea what to make of it. That strange reaction you caused, blue lightning from a healing stone, I've never seen anything like it. And the stone looks different now, too. Like it's devoid of life. I begin to wonder if its magical properties survived your little reaction.
Soothing a corpse.
I've been studying under Theliron for some time now, but that task, being asked to play the gods, was the first time I've ever questioned my, well, suitability for the work. I've a passion for this work, you see. A passion to see things put in order. From a flesh wound healed to an entire city made resistant to a fatal illness. What right has something as trivial as a wound or as senseless as an epidemic to take a human life?
Soothing a corpse's troubled
Beard
mind.
was a find.
Can't have gotten far. I know it's here somewhere. I really want to ruin this particular batch of party elixir with too much wormwood.
quiet day on the market, it seems.
Made a big cheese on your brook with a wheel of the good stuff.
What? Oh, it's you. Come closer then. Closer. My ears aren't what they used to be. Nor my eyes, for that matter. No, all my clothes are in fine condition, thanks. I've been going to the same tailor for years. Someone wants to see Victoria dead? That cherub of the book? That seraph of the library? Outrageous! Hear you me. You must stop that dog by any means necessary. As mayor of Sicil, you have my permission to take drastic measures if need be.
The key of Sadakandras.
Torjageta, friend.
To be discussed.
Have you decided what should be done about him? My amulet? But it is Haxmagi, a sacred token that houses the presence of my ancestors. No, I cannot part with my talisman, the keepsake of my soul.
Is there no new book to be discovered in this library? Demonology for dumbbells. Ugh. I need something more advanced. The Encyclopedia Demonium. I know it by heart. No, this isn't the grimoire I'm looking for. The Pseudomonarchia Daemonum.
When you put it like that, I guess I cannot say that it is. I do this very reluctantly, but fine. Have my talisman. May it fool the elf that would see me dead.
Demonology for dumbbells. Ugh.
Back, demon! Back, or I'll... Well, what's this? Oh, Medora, you lummox. 1,000 pardons, comrade. This old bear's edgier than a dodecahedron these days. I'll tell you, it sure does me good to set eyes on another of our order. From Academy West, aren't you? Give Captain Wartruce my regards next time you see him. Heavens hornets! That's quite a story, comrade. And come to think of it, one that might concern you. See, I'm here on, well, let's call it a loan from a town to the north of here. Hunter's Edge by name. There's been an attack there, comrade. Orcs. Not your run-of-the-mill savages either. The ones who've taken dark magic to new heights. What they want in Hunter's Edge, I can't say. But it's my responsibility to send them packing. Preferably with their horns in their suitcases and a knee-knocking fear of ever crossing paths with a sauce hunter again. I came south seeking the Legion's help, only to find it tied here in Sicil. They don't have a spare soldier to send northward, and even in my finest form, I can't clear the place of that many orcs without backup. Well, comrade, I hadn't thought of it till you tapped my shoulder just now. But perhaps that's where you come in. I need a contingent I can trust if I'm to take back the town. And the way I see it, you could use reinforcements here in town. I've been scouting Sicil for some time now, and I believe I've sussed out sufficient intel to help solve the murder of the Councillor. With our minds and swords in tandem, we'll make short work of the perpetrator. But it seems you've got all the help you need, haven't you? More's the pity. We could have beheaded 100 Source Yetis in the name of the Order. More than I'd hoped, comrade. I don't know what in tarnation's gotten into the townsfolk here, but there's enough dark magic running roughshod to topple a small mountain. There's Mayor Cecil's doings for one, and the mysteries of our master Thaleron for another. And on top of it all, the feline menace is lurking at every hearth and shadow. You mean you don't already know, comrade? Their kind can see in the dark. It ain't natural. Fella seems like a humble doctor, but I bet my sword he's dealing in something darker in splints and tonics. A loose-lipped fishmonger let slip that she'd seen our good doctor scale the city wall on 2 separate occasions, well past midnight each time. What business could he have among the undead? Hardly the habit of an innocent healer, I'd say. Now, don't get me wrong. I think the mayor's a decent sort, even if he can't hear farther than the tip of his own nose. But from what I've heard whispered around the docks, the old guy's gotten himself mixed up in something not quite on this side of the law. I suspect an illegal source artifact or substance is at the root of it, but exactly what or who's given it to him, I can't say. And since I haven't technically been assigned to Sicil, I don't have the authority to interrogate him.
The closest I've got to my match is when I linger over long while fighting my mind.
Here I wait for thee in the dark. Yes, yes. Have you made the orc feel the black and biting cold center toward the gangling grip of the greedy grey? Yes, so it is. So it is. By Angus, the Impaler's favourite steak, you've done well by me. Oh, Ravager of Gazaldagar, the last of their line is dead. The House of Gandavon has been avenged. Sweet flowing blood. The quest of decay is at an end. My wealth is yours. My life is death's. By the hollow sockets of the Voidwood Eye Gouger, I bid thee thanks and fond farewell.